All right, TMFA. How's everybody doing? It's Technique Tuesday, and as always, I am here. I'm Dialect Coach Chris Lang. Those of you who are new and haven't seen me before, and to those of you who have seen me here on Facebook Live, welcome back. Good to see you here as well. When you do show up, say hi in the comments. I want to see you. I want to see who's here, one who's hanging out with me during accent time. Maybe that's what I'll call it, accent time with Dialect Coach Chris Lang. Really, what it is a time for you, actors here. I want to make sure that you guys get good support in your careers, accent wise, and especially as you're developing your career in particular. So I'm sure you have a lot of questions about accents and accent training and things surrounding accents and how do I even think of accents? Can I learn accents? Any questions that you have, whether they're obvious, subtle, not so obvious, anything like that, I'm here to help. So, if you have a question, pop it in the comments. If you're here, just say hi. Pop it in the comments. I want to see that you're here as well. And when you do have a question, I will see it there in the comments and I'll be sure to answer it. I want this to be a conversation between us, my friends. And not just me, sitting on high, dispensing knowledge. No, I want this to be a thing where we can chat with one another a little bit. So even if you're not watching this live and you see this, put it in the comments. Put your question in the comments. I certainly will see it, and I will circle back around and answer it then. So what are we going to talk about today? Outside of the questions that you have, one of the things I want to talk about is accent fluency. Fluency. Whoa. Big word, fluency. Now, most of you, I'm willing to bet, have heard the word fluency in relation to like language, right? Fluent in a language. That's probably where we've heard the word fluency, displayed or at least talked about. And Basque Victory is here. Hey, Basque. And my friend Eliza is here. Hi, Eliza. Good to see you as well. So, fluency. What are we talking about with fluency? What's going on? Big kind of word that encapsulates a lot of stuff. So I want to break it down into really, I think, what's at the heart of this idea of fluency, the heart of it, the sort of golden nugget, if you will, at the center. Lots of metaphors floating around my head, but another, the center of the Tootsie Pop. How long does it take to get the Tootsie center of the Tootsie Pop? What's it? What's the center of the Tootsie Pop of fluency? What are we dealing with here? And I think for me, the best way to describe this is in terms of efficiency. Right? That seems to be a word that doesn't carry a lot of baggage with it for me. Maybe it does for you, but I know for me, when I think of efficiency, it's a descriptive term. I can describe what is efficient. So let's talk about efficiency. If we're just blanket efficiency, we're talking about how do we do things with the most economy of effort and movement and resources and energy. So, what is the least amount of effort that I need to use to make a thing happen? That's kind of the way I usually like to think about fluency. What's the least amount of effort, or efficiency rather, the least amount of effort that I need to use to make a thing happen? How efficient can the process be? How quickly can I get from A to B with the least amount of struggle and strife? All right. So when I talk about efficiency, I think that's the view of it that I'm going to have in my mind. How many of you out there in TMFA Landia are fluent in multiple languages? How many languages do you know and speak? For me, I am fluent in English. And I know some and can speak some German, Russian, and Afrikaans. All right? Those three languages I know some of. All right? But the only language I would say that I'm truly fluent in is English. What about you guys? Where are we sitting here? How many languages do you possess? And do you possess what you would describe as fluency in? All right? And then I'm also going to say, as you're thinking about that and answering this question in the comments, because comment. As you're thinking about this, think about, okay, well, I'm fluent maybe in a couple languages, maybe 3, 4, 7, 8, 10. I don't know. You might be a rock star with languages. But even if it's 1, 2, 3, whatever it is, I want you to think about when I'm fluent in that language, what does it feel like for me to have fluency? Do I remember the moment that I was like, ooh, fluent? All right, Basque. Basque, good answer. I love this. Fluent in English, Spanish, and Catalan. Now, I am, like, as an accent coach and as a language enthusiast, Basque, I'm a little jealous of your Catalan. I'm a little jealous of that. It's a language that's been in my periphery for a while, and I've been thinking about it. Tom is here. Tom Koch, or Koch. I'm sorry if I'm, completely destroying your name. Sadly, spelling and pronunciation have nothing to do with one another, so I can only suffer by reading. But Tom says French and English. Yeah, that's another good combination of languages. Useful combination for sure. So we wonder, like, do you remember the moment you became fluent? Do you remember the moment? What was that like? Like, when did I gain my fluency? When did I gain my fluency? Hard question to answer, probably. Probably one of those you're like, I don't know. I probably gained it over a period of time. It just sort of snuck up on me. And that's how fluency works, typically. But I usually describe the moment or series of moments when we gain fluency in a language as this. It's the moment we gain the ability to think in the language. The moment we gain the ability to think in the language. That's when we really become fluent. To whatever extent that fluency actually exists, how fluent we are, we could talk about, there's degrees of fluency, certainly. All right, we could break all that down. I'm not going to get lost in those weeds, though. We're going to talk about, like, that moment where you can start to think in the language. All right? When, for instance, you pick up this thing and you look at it and it's not pen, all right? It's something else. Kugelschreiber, maybe. All right? Something along those lines. Like, what are we dealing with? Does my brain see that and produce a word for it? Like, because that's when I'm going to be able to think in the language. All right? And for those of you who are fluent in multiple languages, you're going to discover, my friends, that your thinking shifts between languages. The curse of the multilingual, the polyglot, all right, is that when you're talking, you lose a word in your native language. What is that word? But you can remember it in another language that you know. That really is you thinking in multiple languages at the same time. So let's go back to this idea of efficiency as fluency. Thinking in the language that you're trying to speak in, that's not your native language, that's an efficient way of your brain processing this language now. So it is about efficiency for your brain. Because up until you gain that ability to think in the language, what happens is you think in your native language. You hit a wall. Okay, so now you have to translate. Poop, out comes the target language. The language we're hoping to speak. So we have this translation process that we use. We do this, by the way, my friends, in accents. All right? You're going to encounter an accent in whatever language it is, because all languages possess accents. You'll encounter this language. And you will say to yourself, okay, here's how I say it in my accent, my preferred accent. And then I translate. Out comes the new accent. All right? And that's a slow process. Our brain works real slow comparatively at that process. And our body also works pretty slowly at that process. The physical stuff we're doing to create the accents. So our goal is to get to the point where we can think in the accent. A lot of that deals with muscle memory of what it feels like to create the sounds and the shapes of this accent. Deals with the coordination and flow of all of this. Deals with, putting the pieces together in a flow of speech, that makes sense and that feels consistent in a lot of ways, and we build that muscle memory enough that now we can start to think in that accent. Essentially, that accent has become a viable pathway for communication for your brain, in the same way your preferred accent is a viable pathway of communication for your brain. So that is the beginning of fluency. That's the beginning of fluency. That's when we click the switch and it goes, ah, stuff is starting to sink in and I'm marinating in all of this. All right. But the next step of fluency that I'm interested in talking to you about today. All right. I'm going to give you some words, and I love that I saw this particular exercise done in this particular way, done by a wonderful colleague of mine, Eliza Simpson, who I think is out there in TMFA land right now. And so I want to just say that I got this one from her. I love this exercise. I used to do a different version of this, but then I saw her do it, and I said, I am going to unabashedly steal that from her. And just so long as I credit her, I'm going to steal that. So I'm going to give you a couple of words. And when I say these words to you, I want you to write down in the comments all of the adjectives that these words inspire in your brain. By adjectives, descriptor words. So for instance, my little rag that I use to clean my glasses, it's green, it's soft, it's, wadded up. Right? Those are all adjectives to describe this thing that I use to clean my glasses. So I'm going to give you these couple of words, and I want you to, in the comments, write down in a kind of stream of consciousness all of the words that describe the thing that I have said to you. Now, it's important to remember, none of these words have to be like right. There's no right or wrong in this, so just stream of consciousness, let the words flow out. All right? So they don't have to be right or wrong. Don't worry about that. They don't have to be good or bad words. All right? And there's good or, they're just words. All right? So don't worry about good or bad words. Don't worry about politically correct words or incorrect words. Any of those things. Just write all the words out. All right? Anything that your brain gets inspired to generate when I say the next word that I'm going to say here, put in the comments. The word that I want you to write down the adjectives for first. Make sure I'm holding the right word. I am. Okay, the word that I want you to write down adjectives for first is formal. 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 What words pop into your brain? Descriptor words. Formal. Formal. Take a second. Formal. Into the comments they go. Formal. What words pop up here when I say the word formal? Formal. Okay. I'm going to read some of these out of the comments here as they come up. Formal. Keep writing your words for formal. All right, here is something. All right, we have from Shani Renee Hamilton. Proper, prissy, hoity-toity, sophisticated. Good words, good adjectives. All right, good descriptor words. What are your words? Write them down. Elegant. So Claren Sharif says elegant, well-spoken, well-dressed. Okay, what other words do we have here? For formal. Any other words we have for formal? Lay it on me. Formal. All right. Going once, twice. Great. All right. Keep writing. Put them in there. Lizette Binray here. Hi, Lizette. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. We've met before. Lizette's worked with me on an accent for a film. But Lizette, I haven't seen you around in a while. It's great to see you here. Lizette says elegant, educated, and proper. Basque says elegant, educated, polite. Great. Okay, so I think we're in more or less some kind of agreement. Oh, here we go, another one. All right, Kuniko Soji says classic, noble, and old-fashioned. Guys, these are great adjectives, very descriptive. Is it fair to say that this word carries a lot of baggage with it? Oh, Lizette says Chris is the very best. Lizette, be still my heart. Thank you. That's very kind. This word carries some baggage with it, doesn't it? All right. Your next word, same exercise. Okay, same exercise. So everybody who wrote down some words, write words down for this word. Informal. 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 Every time I do this exercise and I say informal, I'm reminded of the Three Amigos, where Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, and Martin Short have just gotten booted out of the movie studio, and the telegram comes up, and they get the telegram to go battle the infamous El Guapo, and they read it as infamous, and think it's a different word. And it's not just famous. He's infamous. It's like more than famous. It's not just formal. This is informal. Anyway, that's where my brain goes. Because I love that movie. I hope you do too. If not, your homework is to go watch The Three Amigos. All right, during COVID. All right, informal. What are the words that pop up for informal? Adjectives. Adjectives for informal. Okay, we've got some answers here. All right, so Shani Renee Hamilton says casual, laid back, relaxed, easygoing. Good words, informal. All right, very descriptive words. Nice. What else do we got, my friends? Pop them in the comments. Let's see here. All right, Lizette says undressed, casual, light, relaxed. Very nice. What other words do we have? Informal. What words does this inspire? Informal. Adjectives. Anything at all. Again, doesn't mean to be PC or not PC. Doesn't need to be kind, good, bad. Any of those. Just what words pop up for informal for you? Informal. So again, we have casual, laid back, relaxed, easygoing, underdressed. I think I said undressed before, but I misread it. It is underdressed. Undressed, that's a different kind of thing, probably. Underdressed, casual, light, and relaxed. All right. My friends, is it fair to say that these two words carry with them a lot of baggage for us? A lot of things we think these words mean based on, I don't know, culture, our place in it, society, where we live, how we move through life, TV, stuff like that. Basque for informal tells us relaxed, normal, casual. Great. All right. Again, good words for all this stuff until it's not. All right. When we relate these words, formal and informal, to accents and speech, these words do not mean any of the things that you wrote down. Any of them. These do not mean any of the things you wrote down. Formal does not mean educated, elegant, proper, polite, classic, noble, old-fashioned. None of that. Formal means none of those things. Informal does not mean underdressed, casual, light, relaxed. Any of this sort of, I don't know, biased, if you will, or cliched, stereotypical meaning that we carry with these two words culturally, none of these things apply to accents when I use these words in referring to accents. What do I mean? I know. So Clarence says, what? Right? Mind blown. Right? Let's talk about what these words mean in reference to speech. Formal. When I talk about formal speech, I am talking about speech that has more speech detail. All right, so it is speech that has greater amounts of detail. When I talk about informal speech, I'm talking about speech that has less detail. Less speech detail. Fewer and fewer and fewer amounts of speech detail. So I want you to imagine formal and informal kind of live on a spectrum, if you will. Kind of on opposite sides of this spectrum. formal and informal speech. The more and more we travel over to here, the more detailed our speech becomes. The more we travel over here, the less detailed our speech becomes. Now, it's important to note that in this industry in particular, for you guys as actors, you are going to run into acting teachers, you're going to run into casting directors, producers, mentors, agents, managers, all sorts of people who do have aesthetic preferences based on how much or how little detail you have in your speech. So you're going to run into people with essentially biased opinions, like we all have, about whether it's good or bad to have more or less detail in our speech. You will absolutely run into these people. Just know that when they ask you to add more detail to your speech, for instance, if somebody says, can you articulate more clearly here, or slow down a little bit and really pop some of those final consonants, it's not because it's better to add that kind of detail and be more formal in your speech. It's because there's an aesthetic preference that somebody has asked for. Now that I have said that, there is also a good utilitarian reason that we do one or the other of these. All right? If I add more detail to my speech, I am doing it likely because I am at some level, consciously, subconsciously, whatever, I am concerned at least, or I wonder at it whether my audience, whoever that is, whether it's in film, theater, television, giving a speech at a restaurant with friends, at home with family, at any level, I worry that somebody won't be able to understand me. So I want to add more detail to my speech so there is less and less of a chance that they will be able to misunderstand me. I want them to really know what I'm saying. When I teach, and you're watching me do it now, I am really detailed in my speech because I really want to make sure you guys are able to understand me clearly. There's no confusion. So right now I'm adding some detail into my speech that makes it more formal. Now, informal. This, my friends, we use this when there's less of a concern that our audience, whoever they may be, in whatever situation they may be in with us, will be able to understand us. Oh, I know it. It's not a problem. I don't have to do anything extraness-wise to get them to be able to understand me. So I will become more and more and more and more informal, using less and less and less and less detail progressively when I don't have that concern. Either one of these is based on context. Who, why, where, in what place, and for what reason am I talking? I will choose one or the other of these, and likely a lot of both of them, because again, it's a spectrum, so we're existing anywhere in between, and we're constantly moving back and forth. Constantly. All right? I will choose combinations of these based on the context I'm speaking in. And my only, I have two standards, I guess we could call them, that I want to adhere to for both of these. Can I be understood? Right? Will I be understood? Because that's the first thing that helps me to choose these. And then, once I have used it, number two, was my communication successful? Was I understood? Was it clear? Was it, was there any struggle for somebody to be able to understand me? Those are the two things, the only standards we have here. Can I be understood? And was my communication successful? So this also applies, you guys have heard me talk as well about, why we don't want to lose our accents, why we just want to acquire additional accents, all right? This also applies to this, because the only standard that we can hold in terms of your voice as an actor at any level is, can I be understood, and is my communication successful? So whatever accent you speak in, the same rules apply. So now it's just about storytelling. Does my accent help tell this story, or do I need another one that actually tells the story better? All right? Because it's not about goodness or badness of accents. They're neither good nor bad. They're just good for something. So in this case, an accent might be good for this kind of story because it helps tell the story better. So, formal and informal. Let's get back to this idea of fluency now. All right. Formal, let's say that I've got a ton of speech detail. Ton of it. Ton of speech detail. As I move ever closer, inching ever more closely to this informal, I engage what I call, wait for it, ladies and gentlemen, this is the payoff, fluency strategies. Fluency strategies. Some of my favorite things in all of linguistics, fluency strategies. What are fluency strategies, I can hear you asking? Well, my friends, fluency strategies are ways that we have developed in every one of our accents and every one of our languages. I have them, you have them, every language has them, every accent of every language has them. We all have these. These are things we have developed to make our language more efficient. More efficient to speak with fluency strategies. That's what these are. Efficiency additives. Language efficiency additives. That sounds like a very clinical word. Fluency strategies also might feel clinical. Just efficiency, right? So how does this actually manifest in language? Let me give you an example, all right? I'm fond of using this one, all right? My sentence is, no, I won't write this down. You guys will just listen and see if you can detect fluency strategies. My sentence is the following. I am going to go to the store. I am going to go to the store. It's about as detailed as this guy can make it. I am going to go to the store. Great. Very clear, easy to understand. You knew exactly where I'm going. All right. Now, I'm going to add one of these. All right. I'm going to sprinkle it into this food, this sound salad that I'm making. All right. I'm going to sprinkle some seasoning in here, some fluency strategies. Let's see if you can tell where I've done it. So my original sentence, I am going to go to the store. Fluency strategy number 1. I am going to go to the store. What did I do? What did I do? What did this crazy guy do? I am going to go to the store. So rather than I am going to go to the store, I put at the end, to the store. Oh, to the store. Fluency strategy. Boom. Let's add another one. I am going to go to the store. So now I added going to go to the store. Fluency strategy. Let's add another one. So I am going to go to the store. Now I have I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to go to the store. I'm going to go to the store. Instead of I am, I get I'm. It's interesting. It's a contraction. It's built into English right now. It has become standard in English that we use this I'm instead of I am. It's a fluency strategy. We all have it when we speak English. So I'm going to go to the store. Let me add another one. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna go to the store. So I am becomes I'm. Going to becomes gonna. And then I get go to the store. I'm gonna go to the store. Let's do another one. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna go to the store. What did I do? I'm gonna go to the store. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna go to the store. So I am going to go becomes I'm gonna. I am going to. I'm gonna. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna go to the store. It's a way for me to be more efficient with all of this. more economy of movement, less effort required, then I am going to go to the store. I'm going to go to the store. Great. Let's add another one. I'm going to go to the store. 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 So I have taken a bunch of sounds, essentially. These amount to for me in English, all right? And this is like universal, by the way, again. All languages and all accents have this, but I'll speak from the perspective of English because that's my native language, all right? I'm taking away sounds in the mix and I'm smushing stuff together. So I get, I'm gonna go to the store. I could even do it further. I'm gonna go to the store and then I'm gonna go store. 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 Smush it even further. One of my favorite accents in all of America is the Pittsburgh accent. I have two great friends from Pittsburgh. And my older brother went to college in Pittsburgh. And so I love this accent because one of the dialectical variations of this accent is the lacking of a to be verb. All right? So like my car needs to be washed. The fluency strategy that comes right out of Pittsburgh. I love this one. My car needs washed. Needs washed. We get rid of the to be entirely. My car needs washed. And you can say like rather than my, I get my car. My car needs washed. My car needs washed. His clothes need washed. His clothes need washed. So they're built into a lot of the ways that we're just used to behaving with each other. Fluency strategies, my friends, you have them. I wonder what they are. Do you have any fluency strategies? I'm especially interested, by the way, if you're not a native English speaker, what fluency strategies do you have in your native languages? Spanish, French, Catalan, German, Russian, whatever it is. I would love to know, how do you interact with your fluency strategies? I know for me, when I was learning Russian, the word for good, хорошо, all right? Sort of works like English in a way where if we're doing a fluency strategy, we kind of smush things together and we reduce the sort of prevalence of the vowel sounds, all right? So rather than хорошо, I get хорошо, хорошо. Just instead of an oh. We do this in English all the time. All right? All the time we do this in English. I'll think of a word here. Fluency strategies. Fluency or fluency. Fluency. I just did it. Fluency. So we all have this, my friends. So when we look at an accent, our ability to become fluent in the accent, i.e. thinking in the accent, is when we start to be able to adapt these strategies in the accent as well. And then we live on this spectrum of formal and informal speech. And we just get to choose. We just get to choose based on the context of the storytelling which ones we use. And like I said, we are going to go all the way from one side to the other, all the way. All right. Looks like I have I think probably a native Russian speaker, and in a Viktorinova Selinger. Do you by any chance speak Russian as your native language? And I love what you said. Is like the second хорошо works better. Why does it work better? Because yeah, I agree. I think it totally works better. Why? Is it because less speech detail enables us, fluency strategies, upside down. Does it enable us to be more efficient with our speech? Yeah, I think so. I think it does. So our goal in accent training is to get you to the point where you can think in the accent, start playing on the spectrum of formal and informal here. Sorry, formal and, what did I do? See, this is what happens. Formal, informal. This is upside down still. All right, formal, informal. And then we start to use these fluency strategies. All right, that's our big goal. Because once we start playing with these, now we're playing with human behavior like you do in your acting. We're really trying to flow in and out of the nuance of tactics and behavior in scenes. What, emotional, psychological life can be tied to this especially. All right, we really want to put all these pieces together. Okay, Basque has posted a fluency strategy here. So, two Spanish and an accent Colombian, we join words like in English, all right? And in Spanish accent, they don't say the same words, and you can understand with the first one. Yeah. So, isn't it nuts? Like we collide words together, reduce the number of sounds, make it more efficient for us physically here, all right? And then you can still understand this stuff. It's for me, it's fascinating to see this in the real world. Basque, someday I want to hear this from you. Come take my accent workshop. Come take the accent skills workshop, and then we're going to work together, and I want to hear these from you. Be excited to do that. That's about 35 minutes. I'm going to call it there. Any questions you guys have, pop them into the comments. I will circle back after this video, and we'll take a look at them. But before I end, final thing. I just mentioned them. Accent skills workshops. The basic foundation for accents is this technique that allows you to learn all the accents in the world. Right? The games gives you access to all this sort of linguistic stuff that we talk about, give you an understanding and a facility with it, so you can start to play with this technique in your acting. So I want you guys to have good, solid accent technique to sort of be the foundation for your accent acting, and to allow you to expand casting opportunities by adding more and more and more accents. So, my accent skills workshop, courses.dialectcoachchrislang.com. Go there today. 6 weeks, it's on demand. I recorded it, put it online for you guys. All right? Use the coupon code social distance, all one word, you'll get 20% off. Because TMFA, you guys are my favorite actors to work with. I want to make sure you guys get the best stuff. So, social distance, all one word. Go to courses.dialectcoachchrislang.com. Sign up today. Take that workshop, my friends. Begin your accent acting journey now. Go there and do that. I want to see you in my accent workshops, and then I want to see you in my private sessions. I want to help you guys level up. Powerhouse accent actors can come out of this group in TMFA. So that's what I want for you guys. So go sign up for that workshop. And next week, guys, I have a special guest who's going to be showing up with me. So my special guest is an agent. All right, an agent from Union Management. Now, Union Management represents actors in the UK and here in America and the States, primarily LA and New York. I'm seeing some comments here. So Ethan sending love from Northern Ireland. Ethan, Northern Irish accents, some of my favorite accents on this planet. I love them. And Shani asked, what's the link again? I'll write it here. Courses.dialectcoachchrislang.com. Let's make sure I spelled that right. The number of times I misspell my own name, it's astonishing. All right, there we go. So I'll put that in the comments. Go sign up for that workshop. But next week, all right, Dan Clifton from Union Management in the UK and repping actors here in LA and elsewhere. All right, he is going to be joining me next week, and we are going to have essentially a panel discussion, he and I, about what agents and managers right now, especially given these COVID times, are looking for in terms of their actors being accent fluent and gaining facility with accents, and the kinds of projects that he's able to send his actors out on because they may have accent skills or not, these kinds of things. So we're going to be talking about that. I want you guys to show up this same time, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, next Tuesday, where Dan and I, we're going to talk about all this stuff. So bring your questions, bring anything that is on your mind. I don't know if Dan is taking submissions now, but you can ask him these kinds of things. So show up next week where Dan Clifton will be joining me. Just so you know a bit about him, he's a former nurse and life coach. He's an award-nominated actor of stage and screen, and now he also runs the bespoke talent agency Union Management in London. He trained at the Stella Adler School in New York and the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama in London. Danny set up his own agency in 2015 after working for several others. Union works across the board in film, television, theatrical, and stage, and he has built up a strong reputation as being one of the most actor-friendly agencies in the UK. And I can absolutely vouch for this. He is one of the best guys I have ever worked with. It's fantastic. His actors are phenomenal. And he's got a focus on a heart-centered approach to the industry, including the business of acting. He's really passionate about the business of acting and making sure that actors know how to run their business for themselves and can be successful while still nurturing their hearts as artists. So I love Dan, one of my favorite people in this business. He's going to be here next week. So show up, please. Couple questions I see. So Ethan Redmond asks, how much is the course? Upcoming actor trying to save up for everything. Normally, this course is $297 US for the 6-week skills workshop. But like I said, use the coupon code social distance, and I'll put that in the comments here. Coupon code social distance. All right. If you use that coupon code, you'll get 20% off. I'll make sure you guys get the best kind of access to these things. So please use that coupon code. If budget is a concern for you, I can set up a payment plan, but rather not do that because it kind of screws up the works. But listen, if you're passionate about this work, I'm passionate to help you access this work. So you can email me, reach out through my website, which is dialectcoachchrislang.com, and my very friendly chat bot will take your information there. And you can, then we can schedule time to chat and talk about some details if you need that. But go right now and use that coupon code for 20% off. Ethan, it says, awesome. It's so challenging to get into acting, but so worth it. It is a challenge. The biggest challenge in getting into acting is switching your mindset to know that this is a business. You gotta run a business as an actor, which means you've got to treat your skills as assets in your business. In the same way that you've got a construction company, you treat your backhoes and your tools as assets. These are your tools. And one of the best ways to expand your opportunities in this business is to add accents, because more casting opportunities are available for you with more accents. Also, it's a great way for you to sit in the driver's seat of your career. A lot of actors sit around waiting for stuff to happen to them in this business. Don't do that. I saw Wendy's post earlier today where she said, do not be where you are today 6 months from now. Move forward. You're in charge of that. Accents is one of the greatest ways for you to leapfrog your competition. Put yourself in a position to be way more competitive than other people, and give your agents and managers more trust in you, because like, oh, we can submit this guy for a lot of stuff because he's got so many accents. And even if we submit him for something where he doesn't have the accent, he knows how to learn it. He's got a good coach. He's, all this stuff. So, Ethan, I love this. Definitely, he says, I've got special needs and used to always think to myself, I'll never get anywhere in life, but it's about pushing myself out of my comfort zone sometimes. In fact, it's always about that, Ethan. I love that mindset, brother. Love it. I love it. One of the things, if you come and work with me, you'll hear me say this. I will never care that you're uncomfortable. Ever. I will never care that you're uncomfortable. Ever, ever, ever. In fact, uncomfortable is where cool art gets made. It's where we're pushing boundaries in ourselves. So uncomfortable is good. And we should go, blah, this feels kind of weird. I don't know. Gotta learn to love uncomfortable. Gotta learn to love it. Kuniko Sochi says, can I take your workshop from Japan? Absolutely. It is available worldwide. It's one of the reasons I put it online on demand. You go there, it's 6 weeks long, you can take it at your leisure. The only caveat I've placed on it is that you must wait a full week in between sessions, because I need you to practice that stuff to master these skills. Can't just go all the way through it. So, Kuniko, please go take the workshop. Yeah, I think you'll like it a lot. I think it'll give you a new way in for accent learning. All right, especially, and guys, those of you who come from languages that are not English or American English and you want to work in this market, you're going to have a general American accent at some point to be able to play American roles. So this is the best way to start that journey. It's going to get you into the mindset with the skill to be successful when you start attempting to work on that accent. All right, Ethan, I love this. Ethan, great conversation here. Just finished my level 3 Cambridge Technical Extended Diploma in Performing Arts at college, and I love pushing myself out of my comfort zone and taking every opportunity. Never lose that. Write that down, Ethan. I love pushing myself out of my comfort zone and taking every opportunity. Write it down on a colorful sticky note and put it somewhere in your house where you're going to see it every day. Bathroom mirror is a good one for this because you will see that every day. Just remind yourself of that mindset. You're going to grab a hold of these things. They're going to sink in over time if you see it enough. When I was in acting school, I had a sign in the bathroom, in my bedroom, in the living room, anywhere, like on the door as I was leaving the house, on my way to any class. And it said simply, take a risk. I was a young actor. I was very timid about taking risks. I was scared to do it. So I had to literally remind myself, no matter what, take the risk. Nobody has ever died from taking a risk in an acting class or making a choice, a strong choice, that doesn't work out. Nobody has ever died from this. Right? You leap into the unknown, go, whee, I hope there's a net. There is. There's always a net. All right? It will catch you. So, yeah, push those boundaries. Live in the uncomfortable. Guys, every time I get to the end, I'm like, oh my God, 45 minutes, 46 minutes I've been talking because I can't shut up. I'll talk about accents all day. And in fact, I have all day today. And I'm going to continue to do it after here. I've got to go coach now, my friends. So I love seeing you all here. Please come back next week for Dan Clifton from Union Management in the UK. You're going to love it. He's a great guy. He's going to answer a lot of questions. I'll be here as well, of course, to answer questions. So we're going to talk accents and managers and agents and the audition stuff and all of that. Plus, we have a special event that we will be pitching to you. So we want you to know about it first. All right, that's all for today, my friends. Courses.dialectcoachchrislang.com. Check it out. And I will see you guys in the workshop and here on TMFA. Please, please, please leave any questions you have and also anything you want me to talk about in future Facebook Live sessions. I want to address your concerns with accent specifically, so anything you have, please. TMFA question, post it. Post TMFA question. What does accent coach, what does dialect coach Chris Lang think about X, Y, and Z? I wonder if he could talk about it in next Tuesday's Technique Tuesday. I'll hop on there and probably say, oh, sure, why not? Let's do that. Let's talk about it. So hashtag me, tag me in the thing, tag me in the post, and I'll be there for you. All right, that's all for me today, my friends. Good to see you. Stay safe, stay hydrated. Get outside if you can. Feel the summer air on your skin, the sun, all of it. Vitamin D is very important to our well-being. So get out into the sun if you can. I'll see you on TMFA, my friends. Have a great week. Bye.